Hey guys, welcome to my talking video. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the Filipina scammers. Okay, I'm gonna share with you the Filipina scammers tactics or their shady moves on how they try to scam you or the foreigner. Those type of Filipina that is just after your money. So I'm gonna tell you their secret so you can be aware and you can avoid to being scammed by this type of Filipina. So I hope you guys will join me until the end, and let's get started. Generally, Filipinas are loving and serious and very genuine when it comes to relationship. However, there are some that is not good Filipina. There are some foreigners who experience that. There are some foreigners, who has this experience and they try to generalize the Filipina are just after money and all Filipina are gold digger. You know what, guys? That's not true. There are some bad, but there's also a lot of good Filipina. It's just like foreigners. There's a lot of good foreigner, and there are some that is bad. It doesn't matter where you came from, which country you being raised. Yeah, it really depends on you. But yeah, generally Filipina are not gold digger or a scammer. But again, there are some that is, it depends really on the person. Yeah. So anyway, number one is very common trick for Filipina scammer to really manipulate you to, send her money. It required her to make you fall in love with her first before she started these games. It usually happen a lot online, especially in a long distance relationship, because it's really hard to navigate or to detect that in English. I don't know what's the word, but it's really hard to navigate if the Filipina that you're talking to online is just after your money or trying to scam you. It's really hard to tell online. Here's what happened after you fall in love with a Filipina scammer online. And just so you know, guys, Filipina scammers, they are really good at try to, like when it comes to sweet words, like manipulation kind of thing, like to really make the guy feel like special, especially if you are this type of foreigner that is really, excited about having a relationship with a Filipina, especially if you've seen these videos online how Filipina treating their man really good. So you're so excited to find a Filipina online, but you pick the bad Filipinas. Don't trust easily because not all Filipina are good. So anyway, here's what happened after you fall in love with a wrong type of Filipina. In short, scammer Filipina. First, at first, she was very constantly sending you texts, calling you, and communicating with you. But suddenly, she's disappearing, like she ghosted you. And then when she contact you back, she's making all these excuses. Like, for example, oh, I went to my grandma's house. They don't have signal. Or another trick or another example is she lost her phone or her phone is broken. That's one of the manipulation they use. Like, her phone is broken, and of course she need a phone to communicate with you. And there are some foreigners, they are very generous and they would offer to do that. And I'm not saying that when Filipina make the excuses, they're just trying to scam you, but normally it is because they want to manipulate you to send them money. So the second one is not very that common. There are some foreigners who experience this, but it's really small percent, because I think not that easy for foreigners to give in to this kind of trick. So some Filipina scammer would use this to get money from foreigners. Filipina scammers would target the little younger type of foreigners, because normally they are not old enough to retire here in the Philippines, or they're working and they cannot leave their work. Like, for example, she make a comment that she wanted to visit your country, and then you end up paying for her expenses, like flying to Manila to do interview and hotel, and then for visa, and the expenses is jump into one another. I'm actually surprised that there are some foreigners that fall for this, that they never met a Filipina in person and they started sending money for visa, for flights and everything else. Or maybe she's not really applying for visa, you know, or she's not planning to go to visit your country. That's just her trick to get money from you. I've heard one of the story from foreigners who, you know, experienced this, about this kind of scam. The Filipina taking a pictures that she's in immigration, you know, just a proof, and the foreigners find out that she was just, you know, taking the pictures from online and she wasn't really applying for a visa to visit his country. Oh, maybe she's really going to the US, but maybe not to visit you, maybe to someone else. Maybe she got you know, a few foreigners that talking online. And my god, just be careful guys, don't trust the Filipina, especially if you don't know her that enough. So the next one is very common for Filipina scammer to use to manipulate the foreigner to send her money. Sicknesses. I know you heard that before. I think most foreigners, you know, are aware of this. Filipina would use sicknesses to make you feel guilty, to make you feel bad, to, you know, they're really good at manipulating foreigners when it comes to this. Like sometimes they would even send a pictures of her that are in the hospital. It's her niece, or it's her aunt, or it's her uncle, I don't know. Like, you know, she will use her family member that are in the hospital just to make you send her money. And sometimes foreigners who experiences it will be surprised that the pictures that Filipina scammer use is not really her family member. She just got it from, you know, social media. You heard it. So please be aware and be really careful. If you don't want to become this foreigner right here, and here's another one, you have to listen to this guys. Okay, you maybe have desire to buy a land in the Philippines and build your dream home or your dream house. Just be patient. Maybe you're still working in the US, and because of that, you want to be prepared for your future and you're rushing to, you know, buy your land here in the Philippines and build your house while you are in the US. It is crazy that there are some foreigners really that stupid. They met a Filipina online, okay, and distrusted their Filipina to build a home, their dream home in the Philippines, sending their money, a lot of money. Even if you already met the Filipina, if you don't know her that well, don't. Because first of all, you cannot own the land, or you cannot own property here in the Philippines. I think, I don't know much about that, but I know for sure that foreigners can own land and house in the Philippines. Maybe condo or apartment, that's what I heard. But anyway, just don't trust Filipina that quickly. Next is you're communicating with a Filipina that is married. There are some Filipina scammers that would, of course, they're scammers. Like, of course, they will lie anything just to, you know, really get money from you. So they're not very honest when it comes to their status that they are married. I've been with Gary for a long time now, 6 years, or this is our 7th year, and I get this a lot from my fellow Filipino people. They would make a comment like, oh, can you introduce me to maybe your husband have a friend and she's married. And I'm like, what about your husband? And it's okay, I can, you know, he's okay with that. Like, that's blown my mind. Like, he's okay with that. So if he's okay with that, what about the foreigner? Do you think it's okay for foreigner to communicate with you that you have a husband too? And I have a friend that in her province there is a Filipina that is, you know, married to Filipino, and then when the foreigner visit her husband would leave the house, probably go somewhere, and then when foreigner going back to the US, the husband would come back. Some Filipino scammers would just use the foreigner as a financial support while having Filipino husband. And this is like a family affair, you know. I also have like a family member actually. I'm not proud of that. She is in relationship with a foreigner, and she was also in relationship with Filipino, like, the same time. And they went to this is crazy. This is crazy because they went to travel somewhere here in Philippines, and she bring her Filipino boyfriend with her and her foreigner boyfriend as well. They travel, three of them. And you know what? She introduced her Filipino boyfriend, her brother. Her brother. That's crazy. That's scary actually. What about if you get caught? Maybe you're communicating with Filipina online and you wonder why she's almost whispering when she's talking to you. Maybe it is because her husband is in the next bedroom. Here's another reason why you should avoid dating a married Filipina, because that can be a nightmare to you. Sometimes Filipina scammer would use this to sabotage her husband, or they would use this to really get a lot of money from you. They can demand anything. So you really have to be very careful when it comes to dating a Filipina. Make sure that she's not married, because this could happen to you. Like for example, you go check in with her in a hotel and you suddenly get a visit from someone, maybe her husband, or who knows who's this person she sabotaged with. Like, the guy started asking you for money, because if you don't give him money, he would send you to jail because you're with his wife. And guys, here in the Philippines, yes, the police can arrest you right away if you are in a hotel with a Filipina that is married. Yeah, right away they can arrest you. So I'll say it again, be careful. Make sure that your Filipina that is having a relationship with is not married, because it can be a nightmare to you. And here's another one. You're dating a underage Filipina. Just make sure that she's not under 18, because you can be sent to jail for that. And this is one of the scam here in the Philippines. Normally the parents would do this, like they would manipulate their daughter to go out and find a foreigner to date them, and then once a foreigner take the Filipina to the hotel, the parents like, that's their sabotage, or that's their trick to really get, they could demand a lot of money from you. That there's nothing you can do, because otherwise you'll be in jail for that. Okay, you cannot date a Filipina that is under 18, because that can be a disaster for you guys. Be careful. Some Filipino scammer parents would use this, and they would visit your hotel and ask for money from you. Oh, you're dating my underage daughter, you have to give me money, otherwise I'll send you to jail. Like, I'm sure you don't want to go through that disaster or nightmare. So just be careful. Make sure that the Filipina you're having a relationship with is being honest with her age, that she's not underage, because yes, you can be sent to jail or deported, or worse, I don't know, blacklisted in the country. Anyway guys, that's it for now. I hope you guys learned something from this video, and don't forget to keep this in mind so you don't have to go through this nightmare. Thank you for watching until the end, and I appreciate you all. Don't forget to hit the like if you like this video, and also subscribe if you haven't yet. So thank you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.